University of Michigan great Braylon Edwards, and of course, Maz are about to take over on Woodward Sports. Every day, 2 to 4 p.m., it's the best Detroit sports talk on Detroit's best sports network, Woodward Sports.
Hey, let's go! Monday show, October 7th, 2024. Ermanni and Edwards with Maz, Woodward Sports Network, woodwardsports.com. If you're watching on YouTube, go ahead and hit that like button. Subscribe to Woodward Sports on YouTube, providing the best content on the teams you care about right here on Woodward Sports. Braylon Edwards, good afternoon to you, my friend.
Right, it is a good afternoon. I think the weather's beautiful. We're getting a little of that last summer push before fall fully arrives. So you got to take advantage of it and do things like the apple orchard. I got a bone to pick with the women out there. You mind if I pick a bone, Tom Mazza?
Oh, have at it.
The floor is yours, Braylon. The floor is yours.
I think all the men in this chat, shout out to you guys. We appreciate you joining us.
The views of Braylon Edwards' bone to pick with the women do not necessarily reflect those of Ryan Ermanni, those of Ermanni Edwards and Maz program.
You can throw me in there. I'll go with them.
Thank you. The married man leaving me behind on this one. Okay.
I got all women, so I'm with you. 100%.
Just Ryan and KG. We good.
All right.
Yeah. KG,
Now,
I got you.
we know what this time of year brings. It brings the apple orchard. It brings the cider mill. It brings Saturdays and Sundays where the women want to get together with the daughters and the men, go up to the apple orchard. And, you know, when you got to make that hike, you're probably going to Blake's. Blake's out in Romeo. Shout out to Blake's in Romeo, which is right by Dispo. Here we are. This is the apple orchard. We had a great time, Ryan and Monty. You see, I got the Scuba jerseys rocking on my girl and nephew. That's Baby Rain right there. The whole 9 yards is beautiful.
Look how big she's getting.
Man, I'm trying to tell you.
Man.
Legs are getting long as I don't know what. Oh, by the way, guess that lion. Panay Sewell was at the apple orchard as well. So shout out to Panay Sewell was there. I left him alone. I didn't bother him. Knew it was his off week.
Did he have a bushel of apples?
He didn't. He was just casually chilling, man. He was just mutant. And all these regular people, you see this guy that's 6'5", 335. I think I know that guy.
There he is.
This is my brother. This is my brother pushing my knees. Here's my bone to pick, ladies. When you choose the apple orchard, make sure you know the schedule. Mm-hmm. Make sure you know the games that are slotted that day. Don't choose the apple orchard during the Lions game.
Please.
Don't choose the apple orchard during the Michigan game. If you cheer for Michigan State, don't choose the apple orchard during the Michigan State game. They chose the orchard right during the Tigers playoff game. I'm over here pleading. I said, look, the Tigers have not been in the playoff in 10 years.
You're lucky.
Can I get this game? I know it was a blowout. I was following it as best I could with the service up there, but I didn't miss too much. But come on, women. We only ask a couple things. And it's for football games this time. Allow us the time to watch the teams we love. I remember a friend of mine got married in 2017 on the day that Michigan played Florida. In Dallas at AT&T. I'm like checking my phone and watching the wedding. I'm checking my phone and watching the wedding. So, ladies, we will do all the things. We love doing them. We do not mind. Just please allow us the time on the days and the games that we need to watch. Outside of that, we can do all the things. I can fight the bees, who are very annoying out there.
Very aggressive, those bees.
I can do all the things.
To that end, though, at least the 2 times you've had to go to the apple orchard or the cider mill during big games, they have both been blowouts.
This is true. This is true. I didn't miss much, but I was complaining until I realized that I didn't miss much. But, Tom, what did I miss in that blowout on Saturday?
You didn't miss anything, but back in the old days, not too long ago, Lion fans would know, we would escape to the apple orchards during a Lions game.
Right.
Remember that? It was always the biggest joke.
I feel like Sean Belegian made a whole living off of
that. That was all Sean.
Cider Mill
Sunday. Cider Mill Sunday. I think Sean even went last week.
During the Marty Morningweg era.
Exactly.
So to see the actual Lions, I think Malcolm Rodriguez was there as well. Yeah. To see the actual Lions at the Cider Mill on Sunday is kind of pretty funny.
It was. Not only that, Malcolm Rodriguez and his beautiful wife are having a baby. So congrats to them. And Dan Campbell speaking now as we open up the show. Brian Branch is back on the field. So is Frank Ragnow. It didn't look like Dan Campbell was in a great mood today. We'll get some sound from him a little bit later, but he's usually a little jovial with the guys. And he was like, I'm not going to answer that. He just wasn't laughable today. I don't know. Maybe he woke up on the wrong side of the bed.
How'd you wake up on? Did you wake up on the right side of the bed, Tom? I get a text. I'm sitting in my office today reading I've got my glasses low like this. I'm sitting there reading. I got all the papers on my desk. Come in Monday morning. I'm going through everything, and I saw a text message from Tom Mazaway at 5:53 a.m., and I nearly jumped out of my chair.
Well, I wrote you last night to prep you for that call. I said I've got to go to bed early because I had to have an eye appointment.
Protect that eye, kid.
Protect that eye, kid. Listen,
Rocky quote.
Right.
You know what I found out about Rocky 2 today?
What?
Do you remember, like, after the first round, they were hitting each other, boom, boom, boom. And then they pushed each other away. And he hit him, hey, chump, he hit him on the back of the head.
Yeah.
Rocky went after him. They had to separate
them.
They were actually mad at each other.
Yeah.
Wow.
Because
Really?
a lot of punches got through.
Landed.
The choreographed punches actually landed, and the two guys were pissed at each other, but it worked so well.
Do you know why Adrian is not at the fight in Rocky 2?
She's filming Godfather.
She is scheduling conflict, and they could not switch
Godfather
anything
2.
around. They could not switch the arena dates, the filming dates, so she had to be gone.
I believed Rocky when he said, "Oh, I'm sorry, the doctor wouldn't let you go. Adrian. You got to stay home."
Right.
Stay home with the kids.
She's making some.
That
money.
was the storyline.
Right.
It's a great. I love that.
So how are you doing? How's your eye?
I'm fine. I'm healing up, and we'll see how it goes. I'm tired of looking through like a tissue almost. Stuff getting old, guys. Stuff getting old.
So you still got the humor though. The humor doesn't fade.
I'm trying, man.
Humor doesn't.
All you could do is try.
I won't be happy unless our guys play good today.
Yeah, and hey, let's start there with the Detroit Tigers.
Yeah.
I was thinking, just for the sake of the show, maybe ending a couple of minutes early so we can get ready for the watch party.
Yes.
Is that appropriate?
Like, so earlier than
3:50.
3:50. Okay,
Yeah,
I like that.
3:50.
Yeah.
So we got
3:30.
So we got about 15 minutes to get the room together for the 408 watch party. How's
Sounds
that sound?
good.
Sounds great.
Everybody out there.
Make sure you guys keep it right here.
Absolutely. Lions off today. We'll get to them. Michigan, I've got so many thoughts on them.
Yeah.
I watched them at a wedding. I went to my first Chaldean wedding.
Oh.
And wow. That's all I got to say.
Fantastic.
They do it right.
Great.
It's a party.
They do it right.
Fantastic. But we'll start with the Tigers. Just completely they gave up 5 of the first in game 1. They lose 7-0. Tarek Skubal on the mound today. Matthew Boyd, former Tiger, spent 8 years here in the Tigers.
Avoid the Boyd.
He gets the ball for Cleveland. I don't want to overreact or overreact to one game, but Cleveland is a very, very good baseball team.
They were number one on my list.
I think I completely underestimated how good the Guardians were.
What have I all told you?
You did.
Who did I want to play?
Even
But
today,
you ranked them last.
today
too.
worries me a little bit.
Yankees.
Today worries me a little bit because Skubal can go out there and throw shutout baseball, but he can't hit.
Yeah.
They need to get some hits today. And offensively, if you notice, they pointed this out during the game as well, Bray. I think it was like the 6th or 7th inning. The shadows started to come in, and they said, I want you to make a note of this right now,
Brian
because
Anderson.
on Monday, who calls it great game, it's unbelievable. But he's like, I want you to notice this right now, because this is the start time for game 2, and you can see the shadows. Might not be a big deal in the grand scheme of things. It'll help Tarek Skubal, perhaps. It'll give him a little bit of added oomph, as they say. But nonetheless, it will also give Matthew Boyd a little bit extra on the mound for Cleveland today. So
I'll take my chances against Boyd. Pete, if you can,
Sure.
throw up the lineup. It's right underneath that Tigers.
You got it,
thing.
buddy.
Justin Henry Malloy is leading off, guys.
And do you know why?
Because A.J. Hinch is a mastermind.
Justin Henry Malloy has about as good an eye as anybody right now, especially on that Tigers team. I bet he walks twice today.
I hope you're right.
I'm going to say,
There you go, Bray. Bet it.
I'm going to say right now, Justin Henry Malloy is going to have 2 walks today.
Yeah.
Can you put that back up? I
Sure.
just saw the first.
You got it, buddy.
Yep. So it's Justin Henry Malloy, Matt Vierling, Andy Ibanez, Riley Green, Wencel Perez playing right field, Spencer Torkelson, Parker Meadows. Man, Parker Meadows hits all over the place. He'll hit first, he'll hit leadoff, he'll hit 9th, and he'll hit 6th as he's doing tonight. 5th, I should. 6th.
Sixth,
No,
yeah.
6th.
Yeah, 6th, you're right.
Jake Rogers, Trey Sweeney, Tarek Skubal gets the ball.
No Riley Green?
For Detroit. Riley Green is third.
Oh, there he is.
Fourth. Riley Green batting cleanup.
Okay.
It's got to be in there.
So there's your lineup, right?
You better leave your boy Flannel Sam's boy alone, man.
All right.
I love Riley.
That's the number one Riley Green fan here at the show. Real quick before we get into the game today, a lot of people are losing their mind. You know, myself and KG kind of talked outside a little bit. Losing their mind, 7-0. Oh, my God, the Tigers, they couldn't do this, they couldn't do that. Like, my thoughts were this, Ryan. Tell me if I'm wrong. Just relax. We're not even supposed to be here. Like, we're not supposed to be here, so the game kind of played out a little bit to that. You get a little bit tired, a little bit worn. Now you got your guy on the mind in Tarek Skubal, and I think now you'll see a better Tigers team, and this is the energy that they ride off of. So am I wrong to say relax because we're not supposed to be here, or since we're here, should I take it a little differently?
Well, you're not wrong, but once you are here, you do have just as good a chance as anybody still here to accomplish all your goals. And it just takes one game. You just got to win one game to keep this thing going. And you obviously, just like they did over the last 2 months of the season, anytime Tarek Skubal is pitching, today is no different than at any point over the last 2 months when they were fighting and clawing to get into the postseason. You have to win the games that he's on the mound. It's just that simple. Don't care if it's 10-9, if it's 1-0, whatever the case may be, you have to win the games that Tarek Skubal is playing. And again, a lot of talk. Yeah. Would you have pitched Skubal on 4 days rest? You're not going to pitch Skubal on 4 days rest in a game 1. Would you consider doing it if it was a game 5? I think everything is on the table in an elimination game 5.
Yeah, I definitely think Tarek pitches today and in game 5. Maz, correct me if I'm wrong. We also talked about, the wave, and one of the big things that you talked about, they don't know what they're doing. They're just some young guys out there listening to AJ Hinch. They're playing, they're having fun, they're excited to be living their dream. Well, then the playoffs to this level start. I think now you're playing a team that might be better than you. I think now you're hearing yourself on TV. Now you're seeing ESPN. Now the storylines nationally are about you because you're one of 4 teams left. Is this now a time where you're a young player and it's like, oh, shoot, what are we doing? Are we here? How did we get here? Is it a time of self-reflection, or are you still riding away from the season?
Cleveland is better than them.
Yeah.
No, not even
I
a
had
question.
The number one when we
not
did
even
it
a
last
question
week.
about it. They're the best team to me in the American League. And they got punched in the mouth the other day. That's the first time they've really gotten punched in the mouth. The Astros only had a lead for a half an inning. All right? They dominated Houston. Houston ain't nothing compared to Cleveland. So today, to me, is a must-win game. Now, I went back and I looked at some old playoff games and guys throwing Justin Verlander, just back in the day, had a 1-0 lead, but the Tigers couldn't score, like you said. Wound up losing in extra innings, 2-1, and back in the playoffs. I don't forget what year it was. It might have been 14.
Yeah.
But you can't just have a 1-0 lead. 1-0 ain't gonna win you this game. You've got to get some hits today. And like Ryan said, Justin Henry Malloy is your leadoff guy. You would never think in a million years, why are you leading this guy off? Hopefully he draws a few walks. We'll talk about the Mets and the Phillies and how they've been playing. It's just important and imperative to get those runs home. On Saturday, they had 2 guys on in the first inning. I really thought they were going to bust it open in the first inning. They didn't get anything. And then here come Cleveland. And the game was over. Although it was one bad pitch by Reese Olson. He looks damn good, by the way, Reese Olson.
Yeah, he did. I hope you're right. And I hope that having Tarek on the mound, I hope he ignites the team. He provides that energy because, like you said, he can't pitch shutout baseball. I just remember the first year we went to the playoffs when I was with the Jets. We limped into the playoffs like we were just playing at the end of the season. We thought we were out, and lo and behold, we win game 16. We get into the playoffs, and then we ride this wave. We beat the Chargers out in San Diego. Then we beat Cincinnati. Then we beat San Diego, and then we played the Peyton Manning-led the Indianapolis Colts at the time. And we were winning that game at halftime, man. But I always tell you this story, like what happened at halftime, how he went down there and they scored a touchdown right before the half. Yep. The Sheriff did. 30 seconds off a missed field goal. You can look around that locker and you can see 70% of the team believe that we didn't belong.
Yep.
It was like you can see it in their eyes. Nobody would look up. They weren't making eye contact. And I'm still new to the team, so this is me kind of learning. I know it's a different situation, but sometimes you're in that moment. I think in that moment, no, we're not supposed to be here. We got lucky to get this way. We got 2 wins in the playoff. You start to see guys settle in the locker room, and I just hope that's not the Detroit Tigers. Can't be led by AJ Hinch.
Look at the NFL yesterday, just for a second. You got teams like Cincinnati and Buffalo that had chances to put strangleholds on those games, did not, wound up losing both of those games. You have got to take advantage early. Matthew Boyd is no one you're going to be scared of. Yeah. Go out there, put a 3-spot up in the first inning, and then coast.
And it is, we saw this against Houston. When the Tigers scored 3 runs in the second inning, you get those early runs, and the whole complexion of the game changes.
Except against the Mets.
It is. Well, yeah, and we'll get to that. But it is, especially in these playoff games, if you can get the early edge, man, when the Tigers got some traffic on the base paths in game 1 and did not score. Those moments are huge in baseball games. They're every bit as big in the first inning than they are in the 7th, 8th, or 9th when you feel like you're up against it and your team has a chance to do some damage. Tigers did not, but they're learning from this. And I do believe, Braylon, you're so right. I don't want to say that everything is all gravy, but everything is all gravy with the Detroit Tigers right now. Every moment is a learning experience for them. Every game is a learning experience for them. And just like this is the first postseason game many of these guys will play, most of them, other than Matt Vierling, where they actually trail in a series. They've never trailed in a series before, these guys. They only know winning. So are you able to cut it off after 1? Are you able to cut off losing? Don't let one game beat you twice. Yeah, and we'll see today. Maz, you did mention the Phillies. What an epic baseball game yesterday. And I know it's and we'll get to the Dodgers in San Diego in just a minute. I know it's a football Sunday, and I found myself watching football mainly until you turn it on once, and you see all this action, and then you're like, oh my God, what's going on in this game? Nick Castellanos hits a walk-off RBI single to beat the New York Mets. Philadelphia has tied up that series with the Mets.
Castellanos with the home run.
It was a back and forth game all night.
I didn't turn it on until you guys told me. I was watching football. You know what time it is. I'm out here trying to see what the parlays are looking like, trying to see the games. I'm watching through Red Zone. The Lions don't play, so I'm watching strictly Red Zone. I'm watching every game at the same time.
Picture-in-picture, like the old days.
Well, they have picture-in-picture with the 4 pictures, 4 games, and choose the sound that you want. But once you guys text the group and I saw what was going on, the Phils are my team anyway, so I tuned it in, and it was a hell of a game, man. It's playoff baseball. That's why we said it's number 1. It's undefeated.
Mets had the lead early. They coasted a 6th inning. Bryce Harper hits a home run. Castellanos follows up with his own home run. They tied a game. The fans are unbelievable in Philly, aren't they?
Great.
Back come the Mets. Home run for them. They take the lead. Back comes Philly. They scored 3, take a 2-run lead. Top of the 9th, 1 out, 1 man on. Home run by Vientos again, his 3rd of the series. Ties the game. Unbelievable. Bottom of the 9th, couldn't keep him off the base paths. Here comes Castellanos, base hit. I'm a Mets guy. Grew up a Mets fan, Yankee fan. I can't root against the Phillies. It's hard to root against them. I just turned the game off when it was over. I flicked back to the Rams game, and I move on. It's 1 game apiece. Saturday, the Mets came back. They were down 4 runs.
Right.
They win that game. It's one of the best series you ever want to lay your eyes on. And then last night, San Diego knocked off the Dodgers. I'm telling you, Padres are beating the Dodgers.
It is hard, just back to the Phillies Mets series, it is hard to root against any of those teams.
Yep.
Yeah. Both of those teams are just remarkable. They're fun teams to watch. They fight you, they claw. They never give up attitudes. Both teams embody the cities in which they come from. Yeah. It's great baseball, and we knew it would be. Meanwhile, last night in Los Angeles, I don't even know what to say about that one. With the fans started throwing stuff at Profar, Jurickson Profar,
crazy,
in the outfield.
Yeah.
That's a bad look for Dodgers fans.
Like 5 idiots. Ruined the whole thing.
And
it's always on the West Coast.
And San Diego, here comes San Diego. Mm-hmm. They should have won the night before. They should have won the night before, and they absolutely came back, and they didn't let that late game heroics by the Dodgers beat them again. Don't let one game beat you twice.
Yep.
And the Dodgers came back, made a statement the Padres.
2 home runs for Fernando Tatis.
He had two home runs, too. I can't wait till the Tigers get to this point. Look, I know we're in the playoffs right now. I know we're fighting. We got Terry Scuba on the mound, and then we're hoping to get that win and tie things up at 1-1. But I can't wait till we get bona fide stars. Now, maybe it's the players on the team right now become that. They take that step, or whether we bring some people in. Because outside of your team, what are you looking for on the field? Stars. You mentioned the San Diego Padres. You just mentioned Tatis. Yep. You also have Manny Machado. Manny Machado. If you want to get on the mound, Yu Darvish has been a gem for years. And obviously, we won't even have to go through the Phillies roster, the Yankees roster, man. Like, stars add to the value, but I think that's what they're building in Detroit. And I'm excited to see which one of these Tigers is going to be one of those players that we talk about in that same regard.
San Diego's got Jackson Merrill. Rookie of the year.
He should be the rookie of the year, I think.
He will be rookie of the year.
You think so?
He's unbelievable. He's got a swing like that looks like he's been in the league
over
10 years.
The Skeens.
They'll probably give it to Skeens, but Jackson Merrill, an everyday player, to me, he gets it. He gets it.
He made the postseason.
I watched baseball all year. To me, that kid gets it over a pitcher who I love that's pitching once a week, maybe twice a week.
Ryan, is baseball loyal to what they see, or are they loyal to popularity?
Well, it's funny you say that because I think baseball is loyal to storylines too.
Yeah.
And the storyline that Paul Skeens is the most dominant pitcher to come up since who? Since Justin Verlander, maybe? I mean, really what it comes down to.
Well, this is right away, too.
They've written the script already, and the way this kid did come up and perform has been tremendous. But then once the Pirates were out of it, his innings came down. He did leave a game in which he was throwing a no-hitter because of the pitch count. So he was on a pitch count all year.
Yeah, 2 pitch count no-hitters.
He came out of games, and I'm curious to see how the voters react to it because Jackson Merrill is a huge reason why San Diego is in the spot that they're in right now. Yeah. I mean, he just is.
And
the Dodgers couldn't have asked for a worse team to play in the first round. They could not.
Yeah.
They got their nemesis.
Off that break, too.
I'm telling you, the Padres are knocking out the Dodgers.
Yep. I was looking at Mookie.
Freddie Freeman got hurt again.
I saw that he left the game. Also, too, when you see Mookie Betts like on the slope that he's on, that's when you know you're in trouble.
Yeah.
Right?
He hit a ball that looked like a home run.
Yeah.
Did you see it earlier?
Yeah, and he played.
Took it away.
That was great.
And
he acted like
he didn't have it. Joe Davis couldn't call a home run.
Right.
Mookie ran around the bases like he had a home run, and then Profar holds it up. I got you. He went in the stands and got that ball.
And that's where it started, too, by the way. Correct. That's where it started, all that back and forth with the fans. Yeah. Actually, to be honest with you, these games have been tremendous. The only game that didn't have any intrigue was game 1 of the American League Division Series between the Tigers and the Guardians. Yeah. This Yankees-Royals series is pretty darn good, too. 6 different lead changes in that game.
Wow.
And today you get a great pitcher for the Royals. He's going, and why can't I think of his
Reagans?
name? Yeah, Cole Reagans against Rodon.
Rodon.
Yeah, I give advantage to the Royals here. I think the Royals tie up the series. That's tonight.
And Monday Night Football.
Who's your winner right now? If you just after seeing the American League Division Series, who are you guys going with right now? If you had to map out
right
now today.
Well, Cleveland. And I'll still say the Yankees will win a 5-gamer. Mm-hmm. And in the National League, I'm sticking with the Padres, and I'm going to stay with the Mets. The Mets don't die. Mets and Padres.
Yeah, Mets and Padres.
I still like where I'm at. I like the Guardians. And
Yankees or Royals?
I think I like the Royals. I think I'm starting to come around on the Royals, and then the other side, I think I may have switched from the Dodgers to the Padres. Padres look like this is their year. I mean, the Padres and the Phillies did this last year. They did this last year, so it looked like that could be the scenario. You get a rematch of last year, the Padres and the Phils.
It's so interesting because I think the Yankees are a huge storyline here, facing a mid-market team in Kansas City.
First time since 1980 they've met.
If they lose today, again, it goes back to these 3 hitters. If you can get through these 3 hitters, Judge, Stanton, Soto, or in any particular order you want, Soto, Judge, Stanton,
nobody.
You're going to beat them because chances are they cannot pitch. They cannot pitch with some of these teams that are left in baseball.
They have the least powerful bullpen of the remaining 8 teams.
It is pretty remarkable what we've seen so far out of these baseball playoffs. Guys, we're going to get to I'd like to do some college football next, because that's what I think I'm most passionate about.
I agree.
And then coming up top of the hour, we'll talk a little NFL. But Michigan.
We got some Dan Campbell sound, too.
And we'll do that, too. But first, a message from the Boys and Girls Club of Southeast Michigan.
That's right, the Boys and Girls Club of Southeastern Michigan. It's the 3C Sports League. You got to register for this league at bgcsm.org. Now, what you're registering for, it's the best league in this area. Ages 5 to 14, all kids can play. Look, get the youth back in youth sports. That's what we're trying to do. That's what we're working with the Boys and Girls Club. All coaches have background checks done on them, so your kids are in good hands. Look, the $175 that you spend, it will get you a chance. All things are covered, the meals, equipment, everything is covered in that. And also a chance to play at Ford Field, the Kings and North Detroit Lions, home that is. So, simply put, man, get this popping, man. Get your kids out of the house, onto the fields. Time to get in shape. Planet Fitness, your fitness is essential. With over 50 locations in metropolitan Detroit, it's the number one gym for you. I mean, I frequent there. You see what time it is. Got the guns popping. Yes, sir. It's fitness that fits into your budget. It's no judgment. It's squeaky clean. They got everything you need, including trainers for all the memberships that they have. So do yourself a favor and join Planet Fitness today.
Can't get enough Lions coverage? Make sure you catch all Woodward sports shows every game day. Wake up with Woodward and Maine, giving you the latest insight into the Lions locker room and press conferences. Then join the Lions pregame show, highlighting key matchups, injuries, and what to watch for during the game. Follow all the ups and downs of the live game action with our Woodward Watch Party live on YouTube and woodwardsports.com. After the game, check out the instant fan and host reactions with the Lions postgame show. Every game, it's wall-to-wall, kneecap-biting, high-fiving, chest-pumping Lions coverage.
Hell yeah!
Only at Detroit's #1 sports network, Woodward Sports.
Woodward Sports, let's go!
Stop searching for a vehicle and start finding one. Les Stanford Chevrolet Cadillac makes it easy. We harness the power of multiple dealerships and own the biggest selection of GM brands in the area to get you the car you need. With the Les Stanford Group, you'll have access to 4 different dealerships, providing you with more makes, more models, and more choices. We're connected to more than 1,000 vehicles, and with so many high-quality CPO vehicles available, you'll find new car quality at pre-owned prices. You can start and end your search at lesstanford.com today.
A network for the city, by the city. Woodward Sports is Detroit sports.
Prove that you can get just as strong at Planet Fitness. We're seeing if people can tell the difference between our 75-pound dumbbell and a 75-pound dumbbell from an overpriced competitor gym. Okay, the old flick test, that never fails.
There's literally no difference.
Plus, you can save $28 or more when you join today. Wow.
Why would I pay more to lift the same weights?
It's the Planet Fitness Strong Choice Sale. Save $28 or more. Join for $1 down, $15 a month, cancel anytime. Deal ends October 10th. Planet Fitness. Light price, strong choice.
The most talked about Detroit media by other Detroit media. And we love it. It's the Woodward Sports Network.
Into any Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men today. Open 7 days a week. Sit back, relax, and enjoy precision haircut, scalp massage, hot leather neck shave, and hot towel treatment from one of our talented stylists. Step up your game this season and take advantage of our $20 haircut special. Scan the QR code and get your coupon today. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men, the ultimate haircut experience. Open 7 days a week. Walk-ins always welcome. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men. It's wicked awesome.
Love Woodward Sports? Love wearing clothes? Then you should be wearing Woodward Sports clothes. Check out our full line of merch at woodwardsports.com. Just click on Shop. We have all your favorite designs, like Dan Campbell kneecaps, Woodward Golf, and of course, our own logoed out merchandise. Men, women, infants, kids, all love Woodward Sports. Impress your friends. Impress your boss. Impress your dog. Buy Woodward Sports merch today.
You have a new home but feeling the financial pinch? Mark White & Associates, your trusted real estate experts, are here to help. Mark White and his team will pay up to $5,000 of your closing cost. That's right, $5,000. That's a lot of money. Get you going there. Mark White and his team, call them today, 248-290-8242. Hit them up online as well, markwhitesells.com. Again, call Mark White & Associates today, 248-290-8242. 8242 to make your dreams come true.
Hey, gang, let me tell you about Lady Jane's Haircuts. I was actually at Les Stanford today getting an oil change, so that's why that's on the mind. But I want to tell you now about Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men. Walk into any Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men today. Open 7 days a week. Sit back, relax, enjoy a $20 haircut. Scalp massage, hot lather neck shave, and a hot towel treatment from one of our talented stylists. Take advantage of our $20 haircut special. Just scan the QR code top left-hand corner of the screen right now. Get your coupon today. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men open 7 days a week. Walk-ins are welcome anytime. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men. It's wicked awesome. It's fantastic. Get a $20 haircut, man. Yeah. These days, I'm telling you, that's about as good as it gets.
Yeah, my haircut definitely costs more.
You got a little something today, Bray, didn't you?
You let it loose today.
A little facial, you know.
I love it.
I saw him get massaged when I came in here.
Did you get a scalp massage?
No, I saw Bray.
On you?
No, not me.
Oh, come on,
I got too much scalp.
Right?
A lot of scalp.
One of those, man. That'd be perfect for you, man. Like put the hot towel, man, around your forehead.
I could have used that today,
here.
bro. I could have used a little bit today.
Feel good, man.
I am getting a massage later, by the way.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah,
You need one.
I do.
Is this a legal professional massage?
Yes, professional.
Okay.
Only the professional.
Right. You think you get the Deshaun Watson? Come on now.
Guys, let's talk a little Michigan football. Just miserable. I know they had some injuries on Saturday night at Washington, but it just feels like they blew a game. A turnover late, a fumble by Tuttle, an interception by Tuttle. 10 points comes off those turnovers in the second half ball game. And that's just something that's unacceptable. You have got to protect the football in the second half of games. The Michigan Wolverines couldn't do anything to protect the football against Texas. They couldn't protect the football against Washington. You do that against good teams, and you're going to lose. You do that against teams that are somewhat mediocre, and you're going to lose games. So that is an area, first and foremost, that they must clean up. That's turning over the football. But it just doesn't look like this team got anything to it. They got no life. And I think that's one of the things that really upsets me about Michigan football. You look at them play football, and they just don't have it. What it is, I cannot explain. But when you see it, you know exactly what it is. This team don't have it. And that's the biggest gripe I can tell you about it. I mean, I looked at one of these mock drafts today. Somebody put out a mock draft. 4 players in the top 20 of the NFL draft coming up in 20. You got 4 guys in the top 20. You should be beating tail up and down the field.
They have the second least remaining guys coming back from last year's team.
And I understand that.
Only Washington had less.
I understand that. But here's what I don't understand. Either you're in or you're out. Like, do you want to play with the big boys or do you not want to play with the big boys? Again, I just don't know who we are as a program. I really don't. And I say we because they got $100,000 of my money, Michigan. I say we. At least. So, no, I didn't play for the team.
Braylons,
as who's my good friend? Who's my good friend from Michigan State? Graham Couch. I think he's one of those guys that writes for the Spartans, I think.
Perhaps.
Who's we?
Yeah.
We's Michigan, okay? But either way, Bray, they just don't have it. That's the biggest thing. And I'm sorry, I wish I had something more for you, but they just don't have it.
No, they don't, but this is what happens when you lose 18 players, but not only that, you lose a whole coaching staff. Not only that, you lose your strength and conditioning coach, Ben Herbert, who's really played a key part in what Michigan's done over the last 3 years leading up to this year. This is what they are. This is what they were before Jim Harbaugh. This is seemingly what they are after Jim Harbaugh. Now, I'm not going to go as hard on them because I picked them to win 8 games only. So the USC game and the Washington game kind of balance each other out. It's a wash for me. I had them losing to Oregon. I had them losing to Ohio State. It's tough when you lose all that. It's not an excuse. That's the truth. It's not an excuse. It's the truth. You got Blake Corum scoring touchdowns at the next level. J.J. McCarthy looking like he was going to be something before he had his knee injury in the preseason. You lost a lot of good guys, the defensive players, the offensive players, but you lost the coach. You lost the guy that can motivate you guys. You lost the guys who identity they played in. It's one thing to lose players. When you lose players, you can replenish leaders because coaches can still teach leaders. You still can teach the incoming guys or the second-year guys or the third guy, hey, it's your turn to step up. Hey, Donovan, let me put my arm around you. Let me get you going because you're going to have to lead the guys. They don't have that. They don't have Harbaugh tapping the shoulder pads of the quarterback and smacking the head and getting these guys ready. When I'm watching out of Donovan Edwards, look, Donovan Edwards' cousin, shout out to him, I love him. The next leaders has to step up. Donovan Edwards didn't have to be a leader the last 3 years at Michigan. He didn't have to lead because Hassan Reddick and Corum were leading. He didn't have to lead the next year because it was Blake Corum that was taking over. Now he's on the mic. There's no offensive linemen on that team that had played last year. They're all fresh. The team's a fresh team with the exception of a couple players, Colston Loveland, maybe Samaj Morgan. Like now was, as he likes to be called, the Dono. It's his time to step up. And he did play in that game. I mean, something about Washington. Like something about Washington, something about prime time. He finds the end zone. So he did do that. But the identity is in leadership, Ryan. And they don't have that. I'm not seeing guys getting guys going. I'm not seeing a guy that they can depend on right now to be that guy, at least not on offense. You look at the quarterback situation. Tuttle probably was a quarterback all along. Tuttle got hurt. They didn't want to say anything because he definitely looked better than both of those quarterbacks, but yet and still he made mistakes. They're not the same Michigan. Everything has left. Now, what Michigan will become, that's up to Sharon Moore and this next generation to make. But right now we're trying to compare them against the last 3 years, and they're by far not that. And it's not just players that left. It's the whole coach that left.
And I agree with you.
Yeah.
To that point, Braylon, I agree with you. I will say this, though, that I go pretty hard on Sharon Moore, but it's not Sharon Moore's fault because Not yet. It's not Sharon Moore's fault yet.
He botched that offensive job, but that's neither here nor there.
But it is Ward Manuel's fault, and here's where I go back to Ward. You are the University of Michigan. You know that Jim Harbaugh is flirting with the NFL, and you know more than anybody what your relationship is with Jim Harbaugh, and you know more than anybody on the face of the earth the contract situation. How you don't have a list in your pocket. If Jim leaves, these are my first, second, and third calls that I'm going to make to get a coaching staff in here where we are not going to miss a beat. You as an athletic director have to absolutely have that in your back pocket. And this isn't like you or me, Braylon, trying to figure out what the inside story is at Schembechler Hall. Ward Manuel, above all else, knows exactly what's going to happen with Jim Harbaugh and what the contract details are. And, you know, this guy, Kalen DeBoer, okay, I understand they lost. Alabama lost in at Vanderbilt. We're going to talk about that. But would you rather Kalen DeBoer be the head coach at, you know, who took Washington? Remember, Washington to the national championship game and built that program, went to the portal, knows all about that, or 38-year-old Sharon Moore, who's never been a head coach in this league. And again, I don't blame Sharon Moore. It's like, well, you know, it's like people say, you know, I suck. Well, I'm not firing myself, okay? I'm going to still apply for the job, and I hope I get it. You know what I mean? Like, Sharon Moore is going to apply for the job, and he's going to try the best of his ability to do the job. And I probably should tone it down a little bit on Sharon Moore because the guy's just doing the best he can. It's an impossible situation to be 38, to be a first-time head coach, and to be the head coach at the University of Michigan.
After a national championship.
It's not impossible. It's impossible for him. And to your point, they should have known that.
Mm-hmm. That's exactly
it's impossible
what I'm saying.
for Sharon Moore. They should have known that
that's
they'll come into this situation.
That's exactly my point. I think we're on the same page here.
Michigan, look, I'm a Michigan guy through and through. Like I can say things about my institution because look, I believe in it. Like, look, Michigan believes in themselves. Michigan loves themselves. Like Michigan, sometimes I feel like with the Jim Harbaugh thing, maybe it was too much power for one guy. Now you're trying to balance the decks. Now you want to get back to a situation where you got a coach that's not above the team, that's not bigger than the brand, or that's not bigger than the regents and the athletic director.
But it worked.
It worked because it was Harbaugh.
Yeah.
It worked because he was a Michigan man. He had history. He had Bo on his side. He had all the things. Lloyd Carr was on the staff when he was at Michigan. So he had all the things to where they could say, you know what? We'll allow this. Because we saw this work down in Ohio State one time before when Cooper is the program. Cooper was bigger, just like Bo. So 100%, they didn't have a fail-safe, and now this is the brand of football that you get. And they don't want to spend money. They don't want to do the NIL. And it's going to be a reckoning this offseason. Like, I know the season's not over. If Michigan it is, 8-4 is will there be. It's going to be a reckoning to see what Michigan comes with this offseason because they can't come into next August. They cannot come into next August with the same brand and product of football. We know we'll get Jaden Davis. We know he'll be a second year, so they'll probably give him a shot. If he stays. But brand of football has got to change because running the football as your only option, you got a linebacker playing running back right now. You got a linebacker playing. Let's call it spade a spade. You got a linebacker in Mullins playing running back. So it's tough sledding up there right now. You got walk-on quarterbacks starting the season, and I got nothing against walk-ons. Love walk-ons. You got walk-on quarterbacks starting the season for a national championship team. Linebacker playing running back. It's only matter for you play real teams. Like Washington sucked, and I'll be the one to say it. Washington sucked. Like, don't let that game fool you. Washington is not good, but you know what? Michigan was worse. Michigan was worse. So I'm not coming down on the boys, but Michigan's going to have to figure out what they want to do in this offseason because this brand of football, like, puts you at a Minnesota level. It puts you at a Nebraska level. Oops, no doubt. Let me not say that.
In today's Big Ten, it does.
Because Nebraska seems like they're figuring things out a little bit.
Minnesota.
They got a quarterback.
It's a reckoning coming this offseason. We'll see what Michigan means to football this offseason.
Listen, you guys know, and I said it, how depressed I was when Harbaugh left. And I said, Sharon Moore, I said it. He don't do it for me.
I did too.
It's just not. It's not right. It's not. This is not Boston College. I'm sorry. This is Michigan. They should have been right. Braylon had a mic drop. Everything he said is on the button. I can't even expound on that.
100%.
Last October, or was it November? Last November, they beat Penn State. They beat Penn State at Happy Valley. Yeah. It was a Sharon Moore victory. This was the one that kind of started.
Quotes.
This is the one, right? This is the one that started the wheels going on. Sharon being the guy. Blah blah blah. What did I say after that game? I did not like, and I don't like crying at the microphone, crying at the podium. When I saw him cry, look, I don't mind crying in certain situations. When I watch what's the name movie Armageddon with my girl, I'm gonna cry. There's a time to cry. You cry at weddings. You cry at father-daughter dances. You don't cry when you win in football. There's no crying in baseball. When I saw that moment, I said, this ain't it. And I stood by that. Same thing with Dan Campbell. I was wrong about him. But I saw that at the microphone. I'm like, that's not a guy I'm necessarily hitching my truck to and my ride to the ways that he rides to. So,
just to expound on it all, Washington is a great place to play a football game. That was a great crowd.
It's the best scene I've ever seen.
It was beautiful. It was a purple rain. It was beautiful. Night game, they had it all going. Michigan had that game. They had that game in the bag. I'll say this. Tuttle impressed me. I know he threw for 90 yards, but that's how bad it's been. You can't just keep changing quarterbacks and expect to win a football game.
3 quarterbacks in 5 games.
You can't do it. So the Woodward Sports guys here, a bunch of ball busters, especially led by Neil Rule. You know that. And we're on a text thread, and they just beat the living daylights out of any Michigan fans. And I just wrote, and I said good night to this, guys. I will say this. Michigan's the national champs. They're not going to be this year. We're going to get through the season. They're going to retool. And they're going to be back next year. I believe that they will be back next year.
Well, I hope so. I hope they figure it out. But I don't get caught up in that chat.
I'm just saying.
I don't get caught up in the chat.
I'm just talking to the chat here and the chat there.
I got your back.
There's a lot of ball busters, a lot of guys that hate. They're the national champs.
They could care less about the national championship. All they care about, even when it was going on, what was it? It was a cheating thing.
Yeah.
Then they win the national championship. Everybody says it's a national championship.
Right.
All right,
Put
you guys won't be good this year.
Yeah.
Then you come up. It's always moving the goalposts back. So at the end of the day, it's nothing to argue with. We're national champs and we suck this year. It is what it is. I wasn't mad, Brian, at the game, kind of knowing what the team was. I wasn't mad. Look, at the end of the day, Like Matt says, I'm riding this national championship thing out till they lose. We'll figure it out next year. Right now, we're still current, reigning, defending. I was mad how they lost. I think that's what steams all of us up here. It was how they chose to give the game away, how they chose to allow this team to get back in, and it didn't seem physical, and it didn't seem like it pressed them. How they lost that game, that's a reflection of Sharon Moore as a head coach. Because at some point in that game, at some point when you see it slipping away, when you see a turnover followed by another turnover, when you see your defense is on the field and now they're getting drugged and now they're getting scored on, that's when you got to call timeout. You got to get your guys together. That's when head coaches know, all right, look, before it really hits the fan, Ryan, we got to get these guys together. Hey, look, everybody calm down. Everybody settle down, because they all were in their own minds at that point. Every player on that team, whether it was Will Johnson, who got sauced a couple times in that moment, defense is on the field too long. Now they're in their head. Why aren't we the same team from last year? Dang, what's going on? Like, where's it going to? Where are we? That's when the coach's job. Let's get the guys together. Let's get this quick huddle, timeout. Hey, everybody get back on the same. That part is Sharon Moore's fault.
I don't even care about the game. I care about how the team was left. Harbaugh knew he was leaving. So what happened last year? He's been suspended. How many games did he miss? 6 games? Did he miss last year?
Yep. So here's the
3 and 3.
Wait, so let me
he's 4 years.
Let me finish this. He knew he was leaving, and he left the cupboard bare. So as they're trying to win their national championship, other schools are gathering the best quarterbacks in the country and paying them. So Michigan got left with nothing. They got left with nothing. Now you got Dave from Barstool saying, I'll give you $3 million a year, Michigan, moving forward to get a quarterback. $3 million a year could buy you a hell of a quarterback. How much did Dylan Raiola get in Nebraska?
Don't know.
Okay, I'm just saying. There's a lot of money out there to be had. The kid that went to Miami, and Miami barely escaped
Cam Ward
getting hammered. Yeah, there were a lot of quarterbacks out there. They got none. So this is the team you get this year. It's a big step backwards. A big step backwards. I'm okay. Just play the rest of the year. Find out what the hell's going on and go out, start recruiting. I know they're recruiting. I'm not being dumb here. But get the guys you want to bring in for next year. This is your chance. It's a rebuild year. Go out and get the guys that you should have got, knowing that Harbaugh wasn't going to be here. It was a huge, huge loss, and they missed the boat.
The only thing with that, man, is the only problem with just, and that's why I say it has to be a reckoning, because the only problem with just, all right, well, next year we'll recruit and we'll do the things just like they did, and we'll pay Dominic Raiola, or we'll pay Jalen Milroe, or we'll pay a quarterback, Cam Ward. Problem is, Alabama's system is in play. Like, that thing has been rolling since 2009 with Nick Saban. That system is fine. That system's okay. Georgia, Kirby Smart, that system's fine. That system's okay. Oklahoma, for somehow the reason, is always fine. The teams that are winning, Ohio State, their systems are in play. They have the players coming every year. It's on the coach and the money they're spending. Michigan's different. Michigan's very different in that situation, because now you got to start from scratch. In terms of getting the guys that come to the institution, you got to get a whole offensive line. You got to go get the running backs. Now you got to go buy a quarterback. But how are you going to recruit these players if they don't want to go play for the coach?
Yeah.
You can give a kid the bag, but if the kid's like, that bag don't really matter because I don't like the guy that's giving me the bag.
I don't think the freshman's going to stay. I don't. I think he's getting out of here.
Here's where I disagree with you with the cupboard is bare part, too. You got 4 first-round draft picks.
Right. So next
there
year
was more than enough talent for them to at least be a playoff team.
Right. I mean,
okay, so cupboard's bare once these guys leave.
Yeah, but I mean, you got 4 first-round draft picks on this football team.
Who? Will Johnson,
Brandon Graham, Will Johnson, Colston Loveland, and the defensive lineman.
Kenneth Grant.
Kenneth Grant. You know,
problem with that is nobody get Colston Loveland the ball.
Well,
so him being a pro doesn't matter.
So you went out in the portal in the past and got new offensive linemen. You know, why?
When you still had linemen, though. Like, you added a couple when you still had 3, 4.
I guess, how didn't you have a plan? I guess, you know, it almost feels like they've thrown Sharon Moore to the wolves a little bit here, too, with all due respect. Like almost like, you're going to be our sacrificial lamb. You know, roll these guys out there and see what happens. You've built up enough equity in the Michigan fan base because of what you did on the field when Jim Harbaugh was gone, when you did coach this team to a win at Penn State and against Ohio State. You've built up enough equity with the fan base that we can get this through. But again, it's much different to drive the ship if you're out in the middle of the sea as opposed to docking the boat or landing the plane, making the game plan, getting the players, doing this, doing all that. It's a much different animal, and I almost feel like Sharon Moore is in a position to fail. And where you say get through this season, I say I'm not sure. I wish I had the faith that I think Michigan had the protocols and the processes in place to go out there and rebuild this thing. I don't believe that. And I'm not into their coaching staff.
Harbaugh ain't here. Wake Martindale ain't the answer.
Well, that's another thing. Eric,
Don Brown Jr.
Who's the offensive coordinator? His name's escaping me.
Kirk Campbell.
Kirk Campbell.
Bad.
Kirk Campbell. Sorry,
both of them are bad.
He's not it.
They're all position coaches.
Wink Martindale. I'm sorry, Wink Martindale ain't it.
Yeah.
It's over.
So it just feels like I don't believe we're in a position to turn this thing around at all.
So you brought up, what's his name, that skipped out of Washington, Kalen DeBoer.
Yes.
We should have brought a guy like him in. Michigan tried that.
Who wanted to be Michigan's coach, by the way.
But Michigan tried that back in the day. You remember Rich Rodriguez was his name. Sometimes it don't work. They had the perfect guy, and they let him go. And I know he went to the NFL, but they never should have let him go. They never in a million. He should have been Bo Schembechler. He should have been. He would have. You wouldn't even have talked about Bo Schembechler if Harbaugh would have been.
He was always going to leave.
Coach, though. The NCAA gave him a 4-year ban. Like, would he have been able to even coach
after he left?
You said what?
After he left, they gave him a ban.
But I'm asking you.
They would have fought.
It would have been even worse if he stayed. It would have been even worse.
A bunch of jokers.
I'm just asking. I'm just asking. You said what?
It would have been even worse if he stayed.
And that's my thing.
He
like,
was always going to leave.
Won't they just be hounding him like each year? Mm-hmm. It's something else, a new charge, or
How
come
can
up
you
with
say
something
it
else?
would be worse if he stayed?
No, I'm not saying not the team.
Kenny did.
Well, he's talking about in terms of the NCAA coming after him,
exactly.
Not the team. He's talking about the NCAA coming after him.
But it's something there with him and Ward too, because why is the cupboard so bare after he leaves, man? It's something there, and the fact that he left and there was absolutely nothing, especially at the quarterback position, that's weird.
He quit a job. He quit a job he hated. Not hated, but hated the people he worked for.
Harbaugh never really had a quarterback though. Like that is one
better
thing.
Than what we got now.
Understand, but that's one thing we got to come up off. Like I feel like everybody like he's the quarterback whisperer. Like if you look at the quarterback coach, Wilton Spate. What's his name? Shea
Patterson.
Shea Patterson.
You would die for Shea Patterson
Dylan
right
McCaffrey.
Now. Yeah, I get it.
Dylan McCaffrey. These three that are on the team right now. Come on.
Better than what we got.
Let's not act like he was out here putting out a bunch of Andrew Lucks.
It's true.
I just named 5 guys that probably work at Walmart now. So let's not act like he's out here just a quarterback whisperer. Like it's beyond that.
It still worked.
It worked.
Ish.
They won the Natty.
JJ won the Natty. I was talking about all the other quarterbacks.
I get it.
The other quarterbacks.
I get it.
It's just it's very disappointing. You know, what does the rest of the season look like? I don't know. You know, it feels like there's such an opportunity in the Big Ten. I'm sorry. I watched Oregon play Michigan State. Oregon sucks.
They do.
That quarterback sucks.
Dylan Gabriel.
I watched Ohio State play this weekend. I'm sorry. For $13 million, I want to look a lot better than that.
Yeah.
They're no good either. I mean, Cade McNamara threw a couple of,
he didn't finish.
No.
He didn't finish the game.
It's just, that's one of the reasons. And I'm telling you, Michigan State, if they could if this quarterback could protect the ball, treats that ball like it's
loaf of bread.
I don't have an analogy.
Like my dad would say, he holds it like a loaf of bread.
That game against Oregon is a much different game if they drive down the field and score a touchdown at the 1-yard line instead of fumble. It's kind of like scoring a run in the first inning.
Yep.
It's the whole complexion of the game is much different. Michigan State is actually, I think, pretty decent. If they could just get out of their own way. They beat themselves more than any other team in football right now, it feels like.
I will take Michigan State when it comes to play Michigan. I will take them with the spread and maybe to win the game. Jeez. Honestly.
I just don't understand how people were surprised about this Michigan team. Like, this is the team we said when the season started. I said the ceiling was 8. It may have gone down since then. This is exactly what you get.
I think I'm surprised by it and you've always been right all along. Everything your entire
not everything. This
no,
year.
but it was your entire assessment of Michigan over the last 5 months.
Arkansas State, I was like, this is what it is.
Has been pretty spot on. Yeah. It's hard to argue, but I think I'm surprised because I'm so mad that it doesn't have to be like this.
Yeah. It was never supposed to be this
It doesn't
bad.
have to be like this. So even to the point where like Jim Harbaugh and Ward Manuel don't get along. Like, how don't you get along? Like you can both, and it's almost like famous duos that don't speak.
Jerry Lewis and Dean Martin.
Right. Jerry Lewis and Dean Martin. They broke up.
Abbott and Costello broke up.
Right.
Hall and Oates.
Yes, they broke up.
Hall and Oates broke up.
Hall and Oates broke up.
It's for regular people. Regis and Kelly never
broke
spoke.
up.
After
hated each other.
They hated each other.
they hated each other.
I think Hoda and
Hoda's
Savannah don't. Hoda's like, I'm out of here. I'm not dealing with this anymore.
But why is that?
Right.
On my Brian Wayhorse, why is that?
But
did Jim want to spend money and Ward didn't? Like, I don't. Where's the rift there?
There started a mass call out years ago, and I think the problem is Jim never accepted that. When they lowered his contract, that's all it was.
Yeah.
The only problem with that whole scenario is if they don't lower his contract, he's fired. That's what everybody was calling for.
Yeah,
Everybody,
at that time,
everybody in this room was
right.
calling for it.
He was
including
horrible.
Me.
Yeah,
it was
absolutely.
Like fire him. Ward chose to, you know what? Let's keep him. Just lower his contract and see if he accepted that. Jim never responded well from that, and it always, in my opinion, was his plan at some
You're
point.
right. That's a divorce.
100%. He was never going to take the
He
money
interviewed
back.
for the Vikings a couple years before.
He's a man that wants to do what he said he was going to do. And for Jim Harbaugh, it was about doing what he said he was going to do, which was eventually beat Ohio State, eventually win the national championship. That's what he wanted to do. He could care less about the money. He already had enough of it. And once that was done, he's going to hit the bricks, and that's what happened.
And that's fine.
Yeah.
But that's where, if you are the leader of a $100 million business, which Michigan Athletics is, and Ward Man, how could you be so smart to lead a $100 million corporation?
Arrogance.
And be so arrogant that you think you could just plug any old coach in there and have the same type of success.
Even worse, Ryan, he thought because it was Michigan, because we are the leaders and the best, because we've now won or going to win a national championship, coaches would, hey, can I come coach? Hey, can I be the head coach of Michigan? Nobody knocked at the door.
No.
And the one guy that wanted to come here, you didn't want him.
Players either.
Kalen DeBoer.
Yeah.
And
Same thing with the players.
Knock on the door. You still got to woo people in this business.
Yeah.
You still have to take her on a date before you close the deal,
That's
as they
true.
say.
But I feel like most people would want to come to Michigan. To me, it's all about the checkbook. You got to adapt to the times. Look at what you're seeing with the Clemson coach. People like that are dying out at this point.
Yeah.
You have to adapt or die, just straight up.
Agreed. People watch. If I'm a head coach, if I'm a head coach in Michigan, Maz, and I'm assessing what Michigan is, and Ward comes up to give me an offer, and he says, "Hey, boom, 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 boom." First thing I'm gonna do, I'm gonna look at the program compared to a Georgia, compared to a Texas, compared to an Ohio State, compared to an Alabama, and I'm gonna look at the team and I'm saying, where's your wide receivers that are electrically fast and that get down the field and have 700, 900, 1,000, 1,200 yards?
They don't produce them.
Okay, they don't exist. That's fine. Where your offensive, like on the defense, you looking at these players, where's your quarterback? And I understand JJ's a unicorn. The last season was a unicorn season in college football. You'll never see anything like that happen again. Where's your quarterback that looks like Arch Manning, if you will?
Damn.
Quarterback that's 18, 19, ready to go,
Texas
6'5",
has two.
prototypical.
Texas has two.
And Q. Where's your guys that look like that? How are you going about getting these guys? What is your process in paying and recruiting and the thought process? I told you Texas' third receiver makes $425,000 a year. I will look at that program. I will say, well, if you can't run the ball, then you're no good. And what are we seeing this year? We couldn't run the ball against Washington in the second half, and we couldn't do anything else. So I would take a long.
Is that on Mullings?
He's a lot.
Yeah, once
he couldn't even run the ball. They had to switch to Donovan. Donovan had better success against Washington. Something about the outside zone kickbacks. Their DNs are slow.
Oh, my God.
It's enough to make you go crazy.
Hey,
it's enough to make you go crazy.
We're current national champs.
Yeah, we are the national champions.
Enjoy it,
baby.
Enjoy it.
There we go, baby.
All right, guys. NFL next.
We got more college.
Okay, we got a lot to get. We got a lot to do. We got a lot going on.
Alabama lost.
Okay, Alabama lost. We'll take a look at that.
Minnesota won.
How about that USC loss?
At least we're not Alabama.
That's right.
They lost to Vanderbilt.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Wow. Tough loss.
Vanderbilt, that goalpost is gone, baby.
Absolutely. But first, a message from Dr. Pierce.
Oh, Doc. I talked to Doc today. He's doing all right.
Very good.
Do not miss our expert sports injury insights with Dr. Jeff Pierce of Michigan Sports and Spine. He joins Big D Energy every Tuesday. He is with us right here on Thursdays. Trust the guy at DMAC and Braylon Trust. We all trust him. Dr. Jeff Pierce. For more information, visit MichiganSportsandSpine.com or call him 248-426-9944. Hey, I can see that number now, right?
There you go,
248-426-9944. Dr. Pierce.
And?
Oh, okay.
Keep
I
going.
didn't realize that one.
Don't ring that bell.
I got a double.
You ain't done working.
Want the bell? Here we go.
Oh.
I know the Lady Jane's girls love the ringing that bell because it's now time for the Red Kettle. That's the Salvation Army Red Kettle campaign. Visit registertoring.com to sign up for shifts. You'll have an option to choose a 2-hour session at a physical Red Kettle site. That means in front of a store. You've all seen those. Or you can do it from home. It's called the virtual bell ringing. You can start that at any time and start making money for the Salvation Army. Traditional bell ringing begins Friday, November 7th. That's coming right around the corner, a month from today. It runs through Christmas Eve, excluding Thanksgiving and Sundays. For more information and to sign up for volunteer shifts, visit registertoring.com. It's the Salvation Army Red Kettle campaign.
Can't get enough Lions coverage? Make sure you catch all Woodward sports shows every game day. Wake up with Woodward and Maine, giving you the latest insight into the Lions locker room and press conferences. Then join the Lions pregame show, highlighting key matchups, injuries, and what to watch for during the game. Follow all the ups and downs of the live game action with our Woodward Watch Party live on YouTube and WoodwardSports.com. After the game, check out the instant fan and host reactions with the Lions postgame show. Every game, it's wall-to-wall, kneecap-biting, high-fiving, chest-pumping Lions coverage.
Hell yeah!
Only at Detroit's #1 sports network, Woodward Sports.
Woodward Sports, let's go!
Stop searching for a vehicle and start finding one. Les Stanford Chevrolet Cadillac makes it easy. We harness the power of multiple dealerships and own the biggest selection of GM brands in the area to get you the car you need. With the Les Stanford Group, you'll have access to 4 different dealerships, providing you with more makes, more models, and more choices. We're connected to more than 1,000 vehicles. And with so many high-quality CPO vehicles available, you'll find new car quality at pre-owned prices. You can start and end your search at lesstanford.com today.
A network for the city, by the city. Woodward Sports is Detroit Sports.
Prove that you can get just as strong at Planet Fitness. We're seeing if people can tell the difference between our 75-pound dumbbell and a 75-pound dumbbell from an overpriced competitor gym. Okay, the old flick test, that never fails.
There's literally no difference.
Plus, you can save $28 or more when you join today.
Wow. Why would I pay more to lift the same weights?
It's the Planet Fitness Strong Choice Sale. Save $28 or more. Join for $1 down, $15 a month, cancel anytime. Deal ends October 10th. Planet Fitness. Light price, strong choice.
The most talked about Detroit media by other Detroit media. And we love it. It's the Woodward Sports Network.
Walk into any Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men today. Open 7 days a week. Sit back, relax, and enjoy precision haircut, scalp massage, hot leather neck shave, and hot towel treatment from one of our talented stylists. Step up your game this season and take advantage of our $20 haircut special. Scan the QR code and get your coupon today. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men, the ultimate haircut experience. Open 7 days a week. Walk-ins always welcome. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men, it's wicked awesome.
Love Woodward Sports? Love wearing clothes? Then you should be wearing Woodward Sports clothes. Check out our full line of merch at woodwardsports.com. Just click on Shop. We have all your favorite designs, like Dan Campbell kneecaps, Woodward Golf, and of course, our own logoed out merchandise. Men, women, infants, kids all love Woodward Sports. Impress your friends. Impress your boss. Impress your dog. Buy Woodward Sports merch today.
I got the best long drink in the long drink game. Y'all know what it is, man. Taller, the Dutch long drink from New Holland Brewing Company right here in Michigan, man. 100% grapefruit, New Holland small batch gin for a fresh, delicious flavor. Probably will see me killing these during the watch party, man. But Taller is your local long drink.
Right. Oh, what's going on? What if I told you that you can place $1,000 on a bet, and if that bet loses, you can get your money back? You wouldn't believe me. But you'd be wrong, because you can at Caesars Sportsbook, the home of Woodward Sports, the sportsbook we bet with. Woodward 1000 is the code. Make sure it's all caps. Woodward 1000. Get your first bet back up to $1,000 with that. Look, this is the place, man. We got the bets for you. We're giving them out. Go to Caesars Sportsbook. This is where you want to go. This is where we make our bets, and this is where we cash in. So you should too.
And let me tell you, Lady Jane's again.
Oh, no, my bad. No, my bad. I'm sorry.
I will tell you about Lady Jane. You can walk in anytime. But let me tell you about
this. Get it together, Pete.
Les Stanford Chevrolet Cadillac Buick GMC. I was actually at Les Stanford Buick GMC earlier today getting an oil change. I was in and out of there rather quickly. It took me an hour. Nice. And that's pretty darn good when it comes to dealerships. I went and watched my phone a little bit, got some prep for the show. Very friendly staff. So I encourage everybody, if you're looking for a little service on your Chevrolet, feel free to check out Les Stanford Buick GMC, Les Stanford Chevrolet Cadillac. The Buick GMC dealership in Ferndale on Woodward Avenue, just south of 9 Mile. And if you're looking for a Chevy or a Cadillac, Les Stanford in Dearborn, where they have been on Michigan Avenue for over 55 years. You can find the brand you want, all 4 GM brands under one umbrella. Chevrolet, Cadillac, Buick, GMC, and Corvette, by the way. LesStanford.com, LesStanford.com.
Together, let's drive.
Yeah, they were both out there practicing today. So as of right now, they look good.
How about that? Dan Campbell, after a bye week Monday, talking about a couple of the injuries. Brian Branch, most notably, and Alex Anzalone's out there. These guys are out there practicing. Braylon Edwards, Frank Ragnow. It was weird to have a bye week this early in the season. I didn't particularly like it, but maybe because of these guys like Ragnow and Branch and Anzalone even, to get these guys healthy felt like a pretty good use of the bye week.
Yeah, 100%, man. These are three vital pieces of the Detroit Lions in terms of what they add to the team. Also, too, you shout out to the Detroit Lions, though, because they've done this over the last couple of years, getting guys back, getting guys ready. Remember when they set Frank Ragnow out last year, they said, okay, cool, we'll sit him out this game, but we know we need to have him by this game. They did the same with Amon-Ra St. Brown early on in that year. So they do a really good job of understanding what games to take off, really to ask their players and get them back. These guys are playing this week. This is one for them. This is going to be one of those games. This is a payback game. Everybody understands what happened to this particular Detroit Lions team. Not even the fan base, who can go all the way back to the 90s. This is just this team and what happened down there in the Dirty D. Everyone told them about kind of what it was like playing down there, and then they had another situation. So it's a get-back game for those guys. Frank Ragnow is a warrior. There's no way Dan Campbell can keep him off this field with that partially torn pec. So look for all those guys to be back, man. Look for them to be rocking and rolling.
I know Dan Skipper's looking forward to this one. If you remember last year against Dallas, you know what happened. The old reporting, the whole 9 yards.
That's what I was talking about, yeah.
They cannot wait to play this Dallas Cowboy team. Cowboys played till almost 1 in the morning last night. They come in off a short week. Lions have a nice couple of 10 days off or so. They're going to be ready to play this game. I'm really looking forward to seeing what they're going to do against the Cowboys. You got to punch the Cowboys, keep them down, man. They really are beat up bad to begin with. The Lions are better than them to begin with, and they are beat up on top of it all. They should roll the Cowboys. Yeah. It probably will be close, but they got to get the win.
I don't want to dive into that game because I figure we got a whole week to get into that actual game, Maz. But what I saw last night of that Cowboys team, look, that's not a good Pittsburgh Steelers team, at least on offense. We know that to be true. But you got to give that credit some credit. You got to give them some credit for how they won that game in Pittsburgh against that good defense. I did not like seeing that as a Lions fan.
Really?
Keep in mind, now they've been rocking and rolling. Now they got the Lions coming this week. Now they're getting into some type of rhythm, if you will, and that defense even looked a little bit better. I'm just saying, they looked like they were dead in the water, and now you get a win on the road against the Steelers. You can say what you want to about that offense, but that's a good defense that they were able to do that 15-play drive at the end of the game to win it, and they fumbled the snap.
Yeah.
I got to tip my hat and just say that was a good game. I wish we would have played them before, but it doesn't matter.
I'd rather see them come in off a win than a loss. I want to play a team that just won than a team that lost, because when you lose, obviously, you don't want to lose and make it 2 or 3 in a row. So I think it's going to work to the Lions' advantage that they won that game.
They still can't run the ball, so it doesn't matter.
I don't even care about Dallas at this point. Watching NFL yesterday, just from a bird's eye view, flipping around at these games, I am more convinced than ever that the Detroit Lions are the best team in the NFL, and certainly the best team in the NFC. What happened to San Francisco yesterday, up 10 points at home against Arizona, the San Francisco 49ers are 2-3 on the year. The Green Bay Packers went to Los Angeles yesterday. Los Angeles, a Rams team that was half their team was on the injured list and banged up and barely escaped a win out of there. And Jordan Love did not look all that great, throwing a pick six, terrible decision down there deep in his own zone. So you look at Green Bay, you look at San Francisco. Philadelphia is a complete afterthought to me right now. There isn't a team in the NFC that can compete for with the Detroit Lions other than the Detroit Lions. This is their NFC to win. And you look at Seattle. You think Seattle got beat twice? Oh, my goodness. The New York Giants beat them, biggest favorite on the board.
Daniel Jones had a game, and he got benched before the game.
Tampa Bay, Tampa Bay's no good.
They gave one up to the Falcons.
It's just like every team that plays the Detroit Lions loses the following week.
I'm glad we're not playing Washington, though. I really am. I'm glad we're not playing Washington. Because like I said last week, you said, who are the good teams? Who's the team that surprised you? They're not surprising me anymore. And Cleveland, it's, wow. I'm glad I'm not a Browns fan, because Kevin Stefanski comes out and doubles down and says, I'm not changing quarterbacks.
That's not him.
Did you watch Deshaun Watson?
That's not his choice.
Did you see Deshaun Watson? Kevin Stefanski won Coach of the Year last year. 5 Browns won postseason awards. Where's Myles Garrett? Where is this team? What happened to Cleveland? It's one guy. One guy. Joe Flacco is almost leading in every statistical category for quarterbacks. He's crazy. In Indianapolis.
Yeah.
I just, Chicago, I think, was a game yesterday. They looked really good. I don't know how much of that was, the fact that they were playing Carolina. But the NFC North now.
All 3 teams won.
Yes. You start to see a little bit. Minnesota 5-0. The NFC North is very formidable. And the NFC West looks very weak. It really just does. Just being honest with you. Don't let the name on the front of the jersey fool you. Or the helmets fool you. That is a very weak division. Here's Dan Campbell earlier today talking about the NFC North division.
I'm not surprised. I mean, I expected this. I expect us sitting here in another month, and it's going to look very similar. We're all in there together. I think it's going to be one of the toughest divisions. I felt that way going in this year, and so I'm not shocked one bit. We knew it was going to be. It's going to be a competitive division, and but it's like, man, you don't want it any other way, really. I think that's awesome. I think it's a good thing, and you get to duke it out with some teams that are playing really good football. Man, they got players over there too, and they're getting coached well, and so it's kind of exciting, honestly.
It is exciting to be in a little bit of a pennant chase, right? I mean, to use a different sport. But look, Minnesota didn't look great yesterday. I mean, they're 5-0 clearly. That is why the Lions win against Seattle was so big. I mean, Seattle wouldn't go away when they played the Lions. The Lions ultimately finished them off and won that game. But Braylon, Minnesota keeps stacking up wins. You cannot get too much further behind Minnesota. I know you play them twice, but they're stacking some wins together.
Yeah, definitely stacking some wins together. Defense, offense coming together a little bit. Look, they played in London, and look, I never count London games in terms of the totality of it all. Look, different time zones.
They own London, Minnesota.
100%, but just different time zones, getting used to it, practicing, playing on a different field. So I don't necessarily make anything about the game. They didn't look that good, but hey, like you said, they're 5-0, man, and they've been balling. But the Lions, they've been doing it differently. And I think these are the two catalysts in the league right now in terms of the Lions and Vikings that playing the best football. The Vikings do a little bit more on both sides of the ball, a little bit more evenly. But the Lions, like you said, they don't lose too many because you don't want to go on the road in the playoffs. Like, and I think that's the meat and potatoes of it. You don't want to go on the road. Minnesota Stadium is a very nice stadium. It's very loud. You don't want to have to go on the road if you don't. One of the reasons why we had so much playoff success, it was the atmosphere that we created. We created something here at Ford Field as fans. I think that other teams have to come to, and it's an advantage. It's an advantage. So you want to make sure you keep that advantage. That's the main thing with that.
Water finds its level. Minnesota's a good team. Never put anyone by them. We thought they'd be last place. They still might wind up in last place in the NFC North, which still all four teams might make the playoffs.
Washington might have, I say at least three, but Washington might have a say in this now with that third playoff spot.
Not to cut you off,
they might win the division.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, good call.
I think they might. Yeah. I think they win. I think they will at this point. But the Vikings.
Good call.
I did watch a little bit of that game. 9 a.m. I woke up, had to throw on my Jets T-shirt, rock the Jets, see what they were going to do. I was watching Sam Darnold. When Aaron Jones got hurt and everything wasn't so easy and things weren't very comfortable, almost very Goff-like in a sense. Now, I'm not comparing him to Goff, so please don't go crazy.
But he's that type of quarterback.
But when things started to look awry and he had to make a play, he looked like the guy that I saw play against the Patriots with the Jets when he had 7 sacks. And he said it looked like I was seeing ghosts. He didn't look like it made sense that he was bouncing around from team to team to team to team. If you can get this guy uncomfortable, he's just a regular quarterback. He's just a regular player, and they got them off his square, as they say. He was looking very basic and very average after that first quarter and a half mark of the game.
T.J. Hawkinson's expected to come back any week now. That's going to help them. They got a great receiving core. They really do.
They got a great offensive scheme, period.
They do. Kevin O'Connell knows how to call a game. And he's got this guy playing at his peak. Yeah. Sam Darnold right now is playing at his peak. Now, that Jet defense is nothing to laugh at. That's a good defense. And they almost won the damn game for their team because the offense for the Jets right now is absolutely they stink. Aaron Rodgers.
Can I say?
Please, go ahead.
He's done.
It was I'm so happy when these moments happen where you can see that we give credit sometimes to the wrong person. They've been calling this guy Nathaniel Hackett. They've been calling him an offensive genius now since he was in Green Bay. And then they hired him for the Denver Broncos. You know, we get Nathaniel, then we maybe get Aaron Rodgers. The Jets bring him thinking the same thing, and it didn't happen for him. But what's the problem? They got Mike Williams, they have Garrett Wilson, they got Braylon Allen, they got Breece Hall, they got offensive linemen, they got Conklin, they got tight ends. The problem is the offensive coordinator never was the guy. It was always Matthew LaFleur's. That is the biggest thing when you watch them. They have no cohesion on the offense. It's no way, Ryan, that you can tell me that this is a vetted professional OC that can do these major things, and he's a genius level. And it looks like this, not game 1, not game 2, not game 3, but not game. Every game this year, they've looked like a average and even under average. That means that he was only offensive coordinator in Green Bay by name and title only. Matthew LaFleur is the one calling the truth because he looks lost, and Aaron looks over it. I feel bad for him.
Yeah, I was about to say, you don't put any of this on Aaron Rodgers, though? I mean, he has not looked good, really, since his last year in Green Bay.
I got
he
something
has not
on that.
Looked good with this offense. He has all the weapons in the world, like you said.
Not really.
His only good game was that Patriots game.
Not really. He don't have a lot of weapons. Not
he
really.
don't have a lot of weapons.
We overrated it. Well, it's overrated.
When you got one guy that wants to come, and I'm not making excuses for Aaron Rodgers. When you got Mike Williams want to come in the game and don't know how to run a back shoulder fade, Aaron throws a perfect fade, and he keeps running straight.
Yeah, he kept
when
running.
You get Garrett Wilson, who I believe is one of the best wide receivers in the league,
absolutely,
like doing his own thing, dropping 3 passes, and also running his own routes. When you're hitting guy, Alan Lazard, we know he caught touchdown. He had 3 drops.
He's clueless.
So when you don't get that many opportunities with Aaron Rodgers now. Like Aaron Rodgers could make up for that back in the day. Now when you don't make those catches, make those plays don't come back. He's out there getting hammered.
He's banged up, too.
Well, that's part of what I was going to say, Bray, exactly what you just stated. I thought Kurt Warner, and I'm not a big Rich Eisen guy, don't mind
it.
They
called a decent game.
Kurt Warner called a really good game, and the way Kurt Warner was explaining some of these route trees that these wide receivers are just not on the same page as Aaron Rodgers.
Routes.
Like Aaron Rodgers, it's almost like not the play caller. It's like the quarterback. It was highlighted to me anyway. It's just like a guy that watches football but not really sees it the way you guys see it. We see the completions, we see the incompletions, we see the interceptions. We think it's on this guy, that guy, this guy. The way Kurt Warner was explaining back shoulder throws, and you've got to come back to the ball. You've got to keep going. You've got to cut that in, and just the flat out miscommunication between quarterback and wide receiver. Now, I don't know how that gets fixed. You would be able to tell me if that is even fixable, Braylon Edwards, in such a like during the season. Is that something you can fix, or is that something that just, man, you're going to have that all year long?
It's something that can be fixed, Ryan, if you want to fix it. And I don't know the guy from Adam, so I'm not putting words in his mouth, or I'm not saying this is what he is. Mike Williams just doesn't look like he cares.
That's a lot of it, too.
Like Mike Williams.
So lackadaisical in that last play.
Whenever they put him in, and I'm a Jet.
Yes.
So, like, this isn't just a fan.
He didn't know what he was doing.
So what the hell are you doing?
Right. Yeah.
What the hell are you doing?
He's just running. He didn't even know the ball was thrown.
So when you don't care, you can't fix that. But somebody like Garrett Wilson is passionate. He comes from a place that wins. I think Aaron and he can get on the same page. But I don't know what's going on. I don't know what's behind closed doors. It just seems like Aaron and Garrett have conversations every game, and then you go through a week of practice and you just assume, okay, they got to figure it out. And here comes the game again where you see Garrett and Aaron on the sideline just going through the mode. I don't know what's going on in Florham Park during the week, but it doesn't seem like they're fixing things throughout the week, to your point, Ryan.
I don't think it can be fixed. And once again, I hate to go back to Aaron Rodgers, but this seems like an off-season thing. Instead of ayahuasca trips, why weren't you working out with your receivers? When you were injured last year, why didn't you spend more time around the team? You can't just show up because you Aaron Rodgers and think, oh, this is going to work. Like, you are 40 now, and you don't sell your body to the game like a Tom Brady, like, other quarterbacks have that push that age. And it's just, I don't know, man. But if it's a chemistry and a timing issue, that just seems like something that should have been worked out in the offseason.
And I think that's where you see Garrett Wilson and some of the players on the team get a little upset. Yeah. They get a little testy, and they had those back and forth because those guys were there in the offseason. Exactly. Those guys were ready for the season. They heard that they were going to be this great team with Aaron Rodgers. And since he's been there, it just hasn't good.
They lost a year with him. I mean, when he came out last year on 9/11 with the flag,
that was it.
I really believed that they were going to really hit the ground running. He goes down 3 plays. He's not the same guy. Does he have the best arm strength, the best arm talent in the NFL?
Yes, he won't.
He probably still does. But he don't have the guys. They're not cohesive. And it comes with Robert Saleh. I'm sorry. I just don't think he's the guy. Now, Jeff Ulbrich is the defensive coordinator. He should be the head coach of this team. And then what you do with Hackett, I guess, I don't know. You talk to Aaron and see what the hell he wants. I guess because this is obviously you built the whole team around him. They have no backup. It's him or nothing. When he leaves and they don't have a number 1 draft pick quarterback behind him, I don't know what the hell they're going to do going forward because he's not going to last a year. He's already taken plenty of shots. He's limping. I read today he's going to be okay. But what does that mean? He's 40-plus years old. They don't have it, man. They do not have it. He says, look, we're going to go on a run. I know it. We're going to go on a run. He still says that. I don't know if it's tomorrow. I don't know if it's midseason. I don't know if it's the end of the season. We're going to go on a run, and we're going to make this work. I really don't know if it will ever work, to be honest.
And I'm not trying to diss Aaron. My bad.
No, please.
I'm sorry, Ryan. I feel like I keep cutting you
off.
No,
I did. I am more curious as to what you have to say about this than anybody in this room because it's your former team and it's your position group really that's seeming to be having all the struggles.
One thing when you watch too, Maz, you can tell the difference in age, and this is where I noticed it most. Watch Aaron and watch Kirk Cousins. Mm-hmm. Both Achilles. Literally around about a month apart from each other. Kirk Cousins, 34. Aaron Rodgers, 41.
Big difference.
Kirk Cousins goes he goes the regular route that you're supposed to go with rehab and treatment and therapy. Aaron tries some other stuff, some scientific stuff, and comes back some scientific stuff, comes back a little early. He won't even put his foot in the ground to plant, Ryan.
That's
like
crazy.
He's literally throwing forward, like falling forward so that he doesn't have to plant hard. That's not sustainable.
It's over.
Like, it got to the end of the game, I'm not going to lie. Just as a person, I was like, all right, like, this is starting to get to a point where one more of these hits.
Yeah,
like
it might be over.
Remember the interception and they end up getting the ball back? He was about to call it. He's in the blue tent.
He went and grabbed his helmet, put it back on, and went out there. It was like, okay, I guess we got the ball back.
I appreciate the Warrior spirit, Aaron, but man, you 41. I got to look out for my fellow 41-year-old.
Right.
Hey, look, I love the guy.
Yeah.
I do.
I don't know
and
why.
I wanted it to work.
Pack.
The NFL, you're going to watch the Jets, guys, like 6 more times on national television.
Yuck.
You better hope it starts to work.
They
Otherwise, you're going to get a bunch of dud games.
After this
doubt.
season, they won't get another Monday Night Football game for 10 years.
No doubt. Guys, break time. When we come back, we'll go around the NFL. We'll take a look at KG. I mean, KG is on a tear, guys.
Trying to tell him.
I don't even know what to say about this
pull
guy. We'll
away.
look ahead to Monday Night Football tonight. We'll look ahead to some Tigers as well. We'll go around college football. So much to get to. About 25 more minutes, we're going to do a watch party. All right, guys. But first, a message from us here at Woodward Sports. Woodward in Maine. Hey, Detroit, wake up game day with Woodward in Maine. Your source for all the insider information. Matt Broder, Terry Foster, 8 to 9 a.m. every Sunday. Brought to you by Tangerine Space Machine, Taller, your local long drink, Sabbath Coffee, and Tullamore Dew Irish Whiskey. And then stick around for the New Holland pregame company Lions pregame show. It is 10 a.m. to noon. Woodward Sports live at the second best bar when games are in Detroit. Back here in studio when games are on the road. That's right, the New Holland Brewing Company Lions pregame show. Detroit's #1 sports network. Woodward Sports brought to you by Tangerine Space Machine, Taller, your local long drink, Sabbath Coffee, and Tullamore Dew Irish Whiskey.
And you can fuel your Lions fandom with the perfect cup and become a subscriber of Sabbath Coffee Roasters. Whether you're gearing up for a big game or savoring a quiet morning, Sabbath Coffee Roasters has you covered with fresh, locally roasted specialty coffee delivered right to your door. Head to www.sabbathcoffeeroasters.com, choose your favorite roast, use the code word Woodward, and get 25% off your first subscription order. Awake and unwind, support local, and enjoy game day right with Sabbath Coffee Roasters. Also, right now, more than ever, it's critical for you to have your insurance reviewed, and Swiss Insurance will make sure that your carrier is not slipping in those extra fees. Call Mark at Swiss Insurance today, 313-530-1698, or head to SwissINS.com. We're coming right back.
Can't get enough Lions coverage? Make sure you catch all Woodward sports shows every game day. Wake up with Woodward in Maine, giving you the latest insight into the Lions locker room and press conferences. Then join the Lions pregame show, highlighting key matchups, injuries, and what to watch for during the game. Follow all the ups and downs of the live game action with our Woodward Watch Party live on YouTube and WoodwardSports.com. After the game, check out the instant fan and host reactions with the Lions postgame show. Every game, it's wall-to-wall, kneecap-biting, high-fiving, chest-pumping Lions coverage.
Hell yeah!
Only at Detroit's #1 sports network, Woodward Sports.
Woodward Sports, let's go.
Stop searching for a vehicle and start finding one. Les Stanford Chevrolet Cadillac makes it easy. We harness the power of multiple dealerships and own the biggest selection of GM brands in the area to get you the car you need. With the Les Stanford Group, you'll have access to 4 different dealerships, providing you with more makes, more models, and more choices. We're connected to more than 1,000 vehicles. And with so many high-quality CPO vehicles available, you'll find new car quality at pre-owned prices. You can start and end your search at lesstanford.com today.
A network for the city, by the city. Woodward Sports is Detroit sports.
Prove that you can get just as strong at Planet Fitness. We're seeing if people can tell the difference between our 75-pound dumbbell and a 75-pound dumbbell from an overpriced competitor gym. Okay, the old flick test, that never fails.
There's literally no difference.
Plus, you can save $28 or more when you join today. Wow.
Why would I pay more to lift the same weights?
It's the Planet Fitness Strong Choice Sale. Save $28 or more. Join for $1 down, $15 a month, cancel anytime. Deal ends October 10th. Planet Fitness. Light price, strong choice.
The most talked about Detroit media by other Detroit media. And we love it. It's the Woodward Sports Network.
Walk into any Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men today. Open 7 days a week. Sit back, relax, and enjoy precision haircut, scalp massage, hot leather neck shave, and hot towel treatment from one of our talented stylists. Step up your game this season and take advantage of our $20 haircut special. Scan the QR code and get your coupon today. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men, the ultimate haircut experience. Open 7 days a week. Walk-ins always welcome. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men, it's wicked awesome.
I love Love Woodward Sports? Love wearing clothes? Then you should be wearing Woodward Sports clothes. Check out our full-line merch at woodwardsports.com. Just click on Shop. We have all your favorite designs, like Dan Campbell kneecaps, Woodward Golf, and of course, our own logoed-out merchandise. Men, women, infants, kids all love Woodward Sports. Impress your friends. Impress your boss. Impress your dog. Buy Woodward Sports merch today.
And listen, my man Pete over there probably got the oldest Tiger shirt I have ever seen, man. It is time for you to get. It still got the crack Tiger on there, man. You need to go get some new merch, man. That's all I'm saying, man. And look, Woodward Sports got you right now. WoodwardSports.com. All the new merch in the game. The Tigers are not dead yet, man. We got all the Tigers gear you need. And gear up for the Pistons. You know they looking good in preseason. The Red Wings and your Detroit Lions, man. We got it all. Hoodies, tees, hats. Guaranteed to turn heads, but only at WoodwardSports.com and Click Shop.
Boy, Pete out here catching strays, man. Look, let me tell you about these wings.
Somebody had to get
it. The signature wings now here for a limited time. They're the stuff of dreams. It's perfect timing, man. The Tigers are in the postseason, the October special, as they call it, and then, or the Fall Classic, excuse me, get my vernacular right. But Soroki's the place that you go to get ready for these parties, the Lions games, whatever you want to do. Get the crispy chicken and the pizza. They got great fountain sodas, if you ask my man Maz. They got the honey biscuits. But right now, we're focused on these signature wings, teriyaki, lemon pepper, barbecue, hot, parmesan, because they won't be here for long, so you want to get these wings now.
Funny story. You mentioned the. Yeah. Oh, go ahead. Go ahead.
No, it's like, come on.
The hat
stick with the classics, baby.
KG mentioned the Pistons and last night, so I didn't even realize they were on, to be honest with you. Yeah. And I turn it on. It's 17-3 in the first quarter, and I hear Mark Jones or whoever the announcer was, because there was a three-pointer right after that. Oh, and a 20-3 run, and I'm like, oh God! I see 20-3 run to start the game, and I see things have not changed, but they did come back and win. Yeah. I don't know if the Bucks just sat everybody in the second half.
Pistons look good.
Oh man!
All vibes.
Tigers and Lions right now.
Oh my God!
It's too early for basketball.
Yeah,
that's true.
Too early for hockey.
Funny.
All things indicate that the vibes are different down there.
That's good. It's good. I love it. Guys, KG is on a tear. KG, would you just like to gloat for a minute? You want to say what you did this weekend?
You know what, Ryan? I think I would, man. Yo, lead dog is here. Hey, you hush it up over there, third place. Don't do that. Mr. NFL, man. You know, you can't catch me in the standings, man. But no, it's been fun, man. And I really wanted that Steelers game to go through. If I had got that one 7-0 week, man. But
you didn't. It was
6-1 week. That is incredible. Yeah. Incredible.
I had a 6-1 2 weeks ago.
Did you?
I didn't hear you bragging about me.
Well, because it's consistent. He's consistent. He's 23 and week. He's 23-10, man.
Woo. Yeah.
He's 23
He's got
and
me
10.
by 3 games.
He's pouring on you thick, man.
Yeah.
On you thick, man.
You better catch up, man.
I'll get him.
See, I'm just trying to give our teammate a little bit of love here.
No, I'm not giving it love.
No?
Yeah.
No way.
It's over. I just needed a couple games separation, and I'm pacing this out the rest of the way.
You do realize it's an 18-game season.
I do, and we already through 4 or 5, so I mean, I want to hear this in week 10.
I'm the Chicago White Sox.
What was your record?
I'm the Chicago White Sox of this operation. We've played 5 weeks of football, and I'm already 13 games behind.
Jesus, man.
Jesus. 1-6.
Ryan talked me out of betting against Buffalo, betting against Cincy, and the last one, Arizona,
you can't
San Francisco.
blame me for that.
That's 3 wins.
Sound like excuses.
3 more.
Can't blame me.
Excuses.
You're
can't
so
blame me.
lucky.
Let's go around the NFL, shall we, gang? We'll put the scores up there. Pete Spivak, give me a little music for this KG.
I got you.
Starts Minnesota. I'm just going to run them. Minnesota with a 5-0 record, 23-17 over the Jets. What a wild game in Cincinnati.
Fireable.
Well, clearly. Hey, Pete, will you get me off the screen?
Sure.
I'm sorry, dude. I don't want to look at the side of my head while I'm looking up at the screen. Thank you.
This just in. Lamar Jackson is phenomenal.
How about the Ravens?
In regular season.
You know, after those first 2 weeks, they've really come on now. And that was that Zach Taylor. They need a new regime in Cincinnati.
Put him on the hot seat for the season.
I will say, but again, look at some of these things that happened over the summer. There's unrest in San Francisco with Brandon Ayuk, and look at what's happening to their 2-3 on the year.
Too.
There is unrest. What has happened in Cincinnati? T. Higgins wants a deal. Jamar Chase wants a deal, and look what 1-4 when you have an organization where you have business dealings that don't get met by their players, there's a lot of problems that come with that. And I don't think you can undersell those two teams specifically.
Raiders.
Well, forget about the Raiders for a second, because I think San Francisco and Cincinnati are two Super Bowl caliber teams that had issues in the offseason between player and upper management, and maybe even coaching staff, to be honest with you, because the coach is in the middle on stuff like this, and they're off to very poor starts.
I got a question about one of those teams. Talking about San Francisco, the big thing last year was, do you pay him or don't you pay him? How important is he to the team? How important is he not to the team? And we're talking about Brock Purdy. Everybody said, oh, pay him. Oh, he's a better quarterback. He's this. He's not just a game manager. Man, when you watch him now, okay, this season with no Christian McCaffrey. And by the way, Jordan, his replacement, is doing a damn good job. He's doing a darn good job in there. What are your thoughts on Brock Purdy now?
I still like Brock Purdy. I do. I think he's a above average quarterback.
Do you like him at the tune of 53, 55
You got no choice, right? You got no choice. You're a starting quarterback. You're going to get from 40, which is Daniel Jones, up. They all get paid.
From 40 to 55.
I got no issue with $50 million because that's what the going rate is. And eventually,
average,
quarterbacks are going to have their own salary cap. So we're going to get into that. That's just what the going rate is. I got no issue with Brock Purdy. I got issues with Zach Taylor and how he called that game. After Lamar Jackson fumbled in overtime, since he's on the 35-yard line of Baltimore, what do? They run 3 plays up the middle when Baltimore had everyone stacked in the middle. Not one pass did they try. Not one pitch did they try. They just said, we're going to kick a field goal and win. Well, a field goal from there is 52 yards. That's not a gimme. That ain't an extra point. So what happens? The rookie holder, which is their punter, drops the freaking snap, and the kicker cannot get the ball going. I forgot who it is. And he's not been great anyway. And what happens? One play later, here comes the king. Derrick Henry rumbles 50 yards down to the 3-yard line, kick a 20-yard field goal, ball game, and you're done for the season. Now, I'll give Joe Burrow had a great game until he didn't.
Yeah.
Until he didn't. He threw a bad interception to Baltimore to keep them in the game and let them tie it. They almost won the damn game in regulation. But what they did in the overtime is awful, and they deserve to lose that game. And it's a shame.
I'm asking the question now. Put the thing back. Put the scores back. I'm asking the question now because we're talking about that game. But the team you were most impressed with yesterday was whom?
Washington.
Yeah.
Okay, I was gonna say Baltimore for me.
They gave up 30-something points.
I understand, but still, that quarterback is special, man. Yeah. When they're hitting on all cylinders, they are special.
Jaden Daniels might be better than Lamar Jackson when it's all said and done.
I mean, maybe. I think you got to give Washington a lot of credit.
I do.
They're one of my dark horse wild card picks this year, but they could absolutely win that division.
Yeah, that division is very, very unsafe right now. You look at the Eagles. The Eagles don't seem like they found any cohesion so far in the season. You look at the Cowboys and you look at the Giants. I mean, they beat Seattle, but they're so inconsistent. They're so up and down. It's ridiculous.
Texans should have lost to the Bills.
Absolutely.
And Sean McDermott takes it today and says it was on me. No kidding, it was on you. Buffalo's in their own territory. It's a tie game. They got it all tied up. What do? They throw 3 incomplete passes. Meanwhile, Josh Allen was concussed. They let him coming back in the game.
Come back in the game. It reminded me of Shane Moore.
It was awful.
Yeah. Michigan and Shane Moore.
Awful.
They got the smelling salts, though.
He had 1 touchdown. He threw for 130 yards. Josh Allen, the guy that we thought was the greatest thing since sliced bread for the past month. And then they throw 3 passes, incomplete. They get the ball, easy kick, good night. Yeah. Houston wins that game.
Makes no sense.
Can't happen.
Their run game was working too. It makes absolutely no sense. I think James Cook was approaching 100 yards if he didn't get 100 yards, but it's crazy.
Let me ask you, go back to Washington for a second. Do you think the people in Chicago are getting a little uneasy with how good Jaden Daniels is? Because I'm telling you, you watch those 2 quarterbacks play, and it's not even close. I mean, anybody that knows anything about football, I think, I could be wrong about this, but I think if you redraft, you're absolutely taking Jaden Daniels over Caleb Williams. I think that's absolutely happening.
Yep.
True, but would he have that success in Chicago is what you got to ask yourself. You got a defensive coach in Matt Eberflus. Your offensive line is still suspect, and that's been a part of the reason why Caleb Williams hasn't worked out. Of course, he needs to get some of that college stuff out of his system.
But he's right, but he's missing one aspect of it.
What?
You got to go get the right offensive coordinator.
Yeah.
And Cliff Kingsbury is the offensive coordinator, isn't he?
Yep, there it is.
Remember the talks early on? Cliff Kingsbury, he's been working with Caleb. He's going to go to Chicago. Maybe there's something there. Maybe he didn't leave. But Cliff Kingsbury, we know he sucks as a head coach. But as an offensive coordinator, he's one of those guys that's doubting. He understands his quarterbacks and his players. And
Caleb looked good yesterday, if you ask me.
Against a weak team.
He did. No. Caleb Williams, and I thought that was going to happen with Chicago. He absolutely played, and that's one of the games that was on locally here in Detroit.
Yeah.
He absolutely played a really good game. I'm not saying he sucks, but what I'm saying is if you had the choice between Caleb Williams and Jaden Daniels, I'm picking Jaden Daniels every day and twice on Sunday.
Well, right now you are. Let's see how the season goes.
Yeah, absolutely.
Let's see how their careers go.
All right.
Giants, did you see what the Giants did to open that
How
game?
wasn't that? Oh, go ahead.
The Giants are on the goal line in Seattle. Opening kick. They take it down to the goal line. They run it in. They fumble. Seattle picks it up and runs 101 yards the other way.
and
the Giants still won that game.
Right.
They blocked the field goal and run it back to make the spread 9 points.
Did you see that? Did you see that field goal? By the way, that field goal attempt. How wasn't that a penalty? Leaping over the center.
If you don't jump, if you don't put your foot on the guy,
so you can leap
jump
over him.
You can leap. You just can't leap off of somebody. You can't play leapfrog.
Okay.
If you have the ups, if you have the jump, that's on you.
Yeah. Okay.
So I give the Giants credit. They won that game after, it's not been a good season.
No.
Ryan Dayball's been on the ropes. That was a huge win. I thought Seattle would, well, hell, they gave the Lions everything they wanted on Monday. See what happens? Short week, anything happens.
Yeah, short week. Also, too, the Lions in Seattle, it just seems like they have each other's number. It's just going to be one of those type of games every time they play.
All right, guys, I got to get one more break in. We'll come right back. We'll talk a little college football, too, and we'll get you up to date on the Tigers. We'll give you that lineup once more. Tigers and Guardians today at 4:08. Watch party coming up momentarily as well. But first, a message from us here at WSN. Braylon Edwards with the postgame show.
That's right. It is New Holland Brewing Company postgame show featuring Stick and Anson. You know them. You love them. Join Stick and Anson live from Hayes Social in Selby Township. Now, the good thing about this is as soon as the game's over, you can come right to the chat, right to the live. You can get active and you can give your opinion because we here at Woodward Sports, we care what you guys think as well. Call from anywhere, and like we said, be a part of the show. It's the #1 rated network in Detroit, Woodward Sports. Be there. It's brought to you by your local long drink, 1800 Tequila and Sabbath Coffee. Not all at the same time.
And 1800 Tequila, the official tequila of Woodward Sports Lions watch parties and post-game show. Join 1800 Tequila and Woodward Sports every Lions game live at Hayes Social in Shelby Township and celebrate the wins with Smooth 1800 Tequila, proud sponsor of your Detroit Lions. 1800 Tequila, the best taste in tequila, and please drink responsibly.
Can't get enough Lions coverage? Make sure you catch all Woodward sports shows every game day. Wake up with Woodward and Maine, giving you the latest insight into the Lions locker room and press conferences. Then join the Lions pregame show, highlighting key matchups, injuries, and what to watch for during the game. Follow all the ups and downs of the live game action with our Woodward Watch Party live on YouTube and WoodwardSports.com. After the game, check out the instant fan and host reactions with the Lions postgame show. Every game, it's wall-to-wall, kneecap-biting, high-fiving, chest-pumping Lions coverage.
Hell yeah!
Only at Detroit's #1 sports network, Woodward Sports.
Woodward Sports, let's go!
Stop searching for a vehicle and start finding one. Les Stanford Chevrolet Cadillac makes it easy. We harness the power of multiple dealerships and own the biggest selection of GM brands in the area to get you the car you need. With the Les Stanford Group, you'll have access to 4 different dealerships, providing you with more makes, more models, and more choices. We're connected to more than 1,000 vehicles. And with so many high-quality CPO vehicles available, you'll find new car quality at pre-owned prices. You can start and end your search at lesstanford.com today.
The most talked about Detroit media by other Detroit media, and we love it. It's the Woodward Sports Network.
Proof that you can get just as strong at Planet Fitness, we're seeing if people can tell the difference between our 75-pound dumbbell and a 75-pound dumbbell from an overpriced competitor gym. Okay, the old flick test, that never fails.
There's literally no difference.
Plus, you can save $28 or more when you join today.
Wow. Why would I pay more to lift the same weights?
It's the Planet Fitness Strong Choice Sale. Save $28 or more. Join for $1 down, $15 a month, cancel anytime. Deal ends October 10th. Planet Fitness. Light price, strong choice.
A network for the city, by the city. Woodward Sports is Detroit Sports.
Any Lady Jane's haircuts for men today. Open 7 days a week. Sit back, relax, and enjoy precision haircut, scalp massage, hot leather neck shave, and hot towel treatment from one of our talented stylists. Step up your game this season and take advantage of our $20 haircut special. Scan the QR code and get your coupon today. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men, the ultimate haircut experience. Open 7 days a week. Walk-ins always welcome. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men. It's wicked awesome.
Love Woodward Sports? Love wearing clothes? Then you should be wearing Woodward Sports clothes. Check out our full line of merch at woodwardsports.com. Just click on shop. We have all your favorite designs, like Dan Campbell kneecaps, Woodward golf, and of course, our own logoed out merchandise. Men, women, infants, kids all love Woodward Sports. Impress your friends. Impress your boss. Impress your dog. Buy Woodward Sports merch today.
If you want to know where the best Lions pregame party is every Lions home game, you can join us at Detroit's very own Second Best Bar, located at 42 Watson Street for the ultimate fan experience. Enjoy some smooth Tullamore Dew Irish whiskey while catching the Woodward Sports pregame show only at the Second Best Bar. Come get some.
And let me tell you about KDK Law. They've got your back. Dealing with divorce, child custody, visitation, or other family law issues. Kevin and Catherine at KDK Law. Well, like I said, they've got your back. 10-plus years of experience, 24/7 availability. Scan that QR code right there above me, or you can give them a call, 248-971-0476. 248-971-0476. Say Woodward Sports sent you, and KDK will pay your filing fee. KDK Law, they've got your back. Hey, welcome back to Woodward Sports Network. Big game tonight. It is the Chiefs and the New Orleans Saints. The Saints.
Upset alert. Upset alert.
What's the spread?
5.5. Just 5.5. It just ballooned to. What's that noise, Tom Mazaway?
Lock.
Upset alert.
Lock.
Easy. What does KG say?
Right. My opinion is the only one that matters here.
Go ahead,
you said what's the spread?
Saints are going to win the game.
5.5, Kenny G.
5.5.
You can have the spread. I'll take them even.
Thanks to our friends.
Give me the Chiefs, man.
Oh,
give me the Chiefs.
There's another loss.
Yeah, okay.
Add it up.
He beat you last week. I watched it.
Right.
He's ahead right now.
You mind your tongue, Tom.
He took Tampa. I took Atlanta. I'm taking Kansas City. He's taking Kansas City tonight. I'm taking Saints.
Oh, okay.
Pretty good game there, Kansas City.
Bet the over, too.
Taylor Swift will be in the house tonight.
Oh, yeah.
Did you see Bill Belichick with a Taylor Swift sweatshirt on?
I did.
Is that real or is that AI?
No, that's his girlfriend, 23 years young.
He looks so disheveled in the picture.
He looks great.
But he looks happy. I'm so happy for him.
Speaking of
He's a happy,
Belichick,
disheveled dude.
your boy Belichick and Nick Saban are living their best life.
They are.
And shout out to Pat McAfee for this, because you can tell it's the Pat McAfee effect that Nick Saban's being so loose. Did you see what he said to the Cal coach? You see the joke he cracked on the Cal coach? They had him the Cal coach on the desk.
Is that still Jeff Tedford? Is that Tedford in California?
I think I think he was Aaron's quarterback coach before he was the head coach. But anyway, he was talking about Stanford. No, it was Stanford and Cal. He said most of the guys that go there, he said because they couldn't get into Stanford's coach.
Yeah.
He said because they couldn't get into Stanford. He said, well, why'd you have to go to Cal to get a girlfriend? He got quiet as hell on
Oh, my God.
Like Nick Saban, even in off-season, he's still doing his homework.
That's awesome.
He had that since week 3. He had that little background information.
Guys, just a couple of minutes to go because we're going to end the show a couple of minutes early today just so we can get ready for the watch party that's happening. 4:08 first pitch, Tigers and Guardians. So a couple of baseball games today. Obviously, the one we're interested in here in Detroit. Game 2 between the Tigers and the Guardians. Tarek Skubal on the mound. It's a game you have to win. Just final thoughts on the Tigers game tonight.
Must win. Tarek Skubal, your ace, is on the hill. Got to get him a lead. Can't be 1-0. You're not going to win this game 1-0. Maybe you will, but it's going to be hard. Cleveland's a very good team. Scooble come off a pretty tough game against Houston, did his job, but this is a different team than Houston. They got to get out early in this game, and if they don't win this one, I don't have to tell you, it's not going to end good. It's not going to end well.
Bray? You know me, man. I'm a Scuba guy, man. So I think with Scuba on the mountain, I think they do find a sense of, all right, cool, let's settle down. Game one's over. Let's work the nerves. The nerves are going away. They got their ace on the mountain. Like, when you got a guy like that on the mountain, it gives you energy. The energy reverberates around that dugout. You start to do things. You start to make the plays that you can make, and you start actually getting some hits. So I think the energy of Scuba gets them going. I think the Tigers win.
Yeah, I just not gonna count this. I'm just not counting this baseball team out.
You should.
I've done it so many times. It's so many different points along the way this season. These Detroit Tigers have been counted out, and they just keep coming after people. They keep coming after teams, and I think that's
Tony talking to Apollo.
Right. That's and that's exactly what I think we're going to see today. I think the Detroit Tigers. I almost said the Lions are going to come out and. How many times have we seen it when Justin Verlander was on the mound? The team just rallies, and I think we're going to get a rally situation today. And I'm just not impressed with Matthew Boyd. God bless him, but not impressed with him.
Yeah.
Guys, any final thoughts, Pete, KG, on the Tigers?
Get on them early. That's the key in this game, man. Matthew Boyd on the mound, his last few outings haven't been that great. So the Tigers have to strike early because the Cleveland bullpen, you already know what they're going to do when they come in the game. Those are all 2 ERA guys. So you get the runs up early and often, and I think they'll be okay because Scuba going to do his part.
Progressive Field isn't a long park. They need a home run.
Yep.
Like, not just a couple of hits and blah, blah. They need a home run. Home run gives you a different type of energy. They need somebody to take one long.
And then the night game tonight, guys, is the Royals and the Yankees. 7:38 game on both games, by the way, on TBS.
Bob Costas on the call.
Cole Ragans pitches for the Kansas City Royals. He's their ace, and then Carlos Rodon is the guy for the New York Yankees.
That's it.
Yeah.
Yankees up 1-0 in that one, and we'll see how six lead changes on Saturday night.
How about it?
Tonight should be fun. Good sports night again.
Absolutely. Go Tigers, guys. Bray, get us out of here.
More on the lines tomorrow. We'll get into the lines. We'll get into the crux of it all. But today is Tigers Day as they try to tie it up 1-1 against the Guardians. So go Tigers. And we will see you guys tomorrow. But don't go anywhere.
Yeah, stick with us.
Yep.
The watch party is coming up in a few, so just stay tuned. We'll be right back.